No.
Let's go over what we've got so far.
Do we have to sit here and listen to this?
They have a right to question you.
Motive. You've been having an affair.
Yeah, me and half the women of this world. Anyway, that was over weeks ago. I've told you this.
Not according to the hotel where you stayed last week. According to them, you both stayed for a night only 5 days before your husband's death. In a double room.
That was a mistake. It was a one-off. Look, we've got a kid together. It's hard to keep things separate.
You couldn't pay the bill, either of you.
Credit card failure.
And this was just after you discovered your husband was planning to divorce you and leave you without a penny. Now, that's a very big motive for a rich woman. You needed to do something to stop it.
Yeah, maybe, but not murder him.
You were found next to the body.
Well, what else was I supposed to do? I rang an ambulance.
In the same room as a man who, according to everyone else, didn't want you anywhere near him.
I have told you. He invited me over to get me stuff. Then he asked me to stay for a drink. He wanted me to stay.
You can't prove that.
Then there's the phone call, Mrs. Tate.
In the recording, he doesn't sound like a man who wants you to stay. He says you're trying to hurt him. He sounds frightened.
I was the one who was frightened. He'd threatened me before.
Didn't stop you going to see him.
Or staying for a drink. Your fingerprints were on the glass. Poison. That's a very unpleasant way to kill someone.
The trouble is, she looks guilty. This thing with Kane, her and Chris splitting up, being found with the body. All looks like she might have done it.
Yeah.
That slimeball did it and left her to carry the...
Are you talking about Kane?
Yes, I'm talking about Kane.
Look, he has gone away and he's taken Debbie with him, and all that means is he has taken her and him away from what could be a very big, nasty mess.
You don't know the half of it, Lisa. The night Chris Tate died, I was at home, right, when Kane rushed in. He said he was going to kill Chris. Then he grabbed a knife and he ran out.
You shouldn't try and stop him.
Would you try and stop Kane from doing anything when he had a knife in his hand? I think he did it, and I think Charity is covering for him.
But Chris wasn't stabbed, though, was he? It doesn't make sense, Marlon.
Well, maybe not, but something's happened. Maybe he used something else. But I bet it was him.
Have you spoke to Charity about this?
Yeah.
What did she say?
She said Kane didn't do it, not to say anything to the police.
Well, there you are, then.
Well, she would say that, wouldn't she, if she was covering for him?
Yes, Lisa. Buy you a drink, Chas, but I can't get to me pockets. It's good to see you. You know, it's been miserable, what with me accident and now this murder. But I was saying to myself just this minute, at least me daughter's here.
Yeah, only because I got nowhere else. Look, Dad, I haven't forgotten what you did to me and Aaron. You know what? You can stuff your drink. Oh, and I'm glad you got no arms.
Champagne seems like a bit of an odd drink, don't you think? If it was his idea, didn't seem much for him to celebrate.
Well, he was a bit of an odd man. But I loved him. In my way. I would never have murdered him.
In your way?
Yeah, why? What are you getting at? All right, I was a prostitute when I first met him. That don't mean I didn't have any feelings for him. He was good to me.
He made you rich, you mean, and then threatened to take it all away?
We have some new evidence, Mrs. Tate.
Yeah?
We found traces of poison in your car.
You what?
Which he suddenly tried to sell on last week.
Yeah, because I needed them. Look, I didn't murder him. You found it in my car? Well, he must have put it there himself to make it look as... Oh, he did all that?
Is that the only explanation you've got to offer?
Yes.
Why don't you just tell the truth? Save us all a lot of time and effort.
It is the truth.
Long. Thing is, I didn't behave too well last time I seen her.
No.
Well, she'd got this money she was saving up. Take the lad on holiday. I knew where she kept the key, so I went round and took it.
Oh, Shadrach, that's terrible.
I know, but I were on the booze. I felt bad about it ever since.
You still went and spent the money, though.
It was the booze.
The poor little kid.
I know. I'd like to make it up to him. To them both, somehow.
Well, you better start saving.
I haven't got a brass farthing. All right, there's a £5 in my top pocket. Take it, Lisa. First one towards it. She's worth it. She's the only one that ever stood by me. Till you.
Please get in the car. Look, she's lying. I haven't slept with her, not since you. Well, she'll say anything to mess us up, you know that.
Yeah, well, she's succeeded, hasn't she?
Please. I've never cared about anyone as much as I care about you.
Oh, come on.
You're the first girl that I've ever really liked. I don't know what it is, but you've got to me.
You swear she's lying?
I swear. Now please, get in.
You promise me that you're not lying now, and that you will never, ever lie to me?
I swear.
Why would he go that far? To kill himself and frame you for his murder?
This man who you say loved you so much.
It was because he loved me. Because he couldn't forgive me, and because he was dying anyway.
Not yet, he wasn't.
To go that far?
Look, it was because it was Cain that I had the affair with. He hated Cain. Loathed him. More than he ever hated anyone. He always did. Even before me and him. That is why he couldn't forgive me. That's why he's done this.
It's a very particular choice of lover. Your husband's worst enemy and a known criminal.
Don't make me a murderer, does it?
But you were alone in the house on Wednesday night.
Yes.
You didn't see anybody.
No.
You are a habitual liar, though, aren't you? We know that.
I lied about the affair. It don't mean I lie about everything.
This framing idea.
Well, he's done it before. He tried to frame the guy I took my car to, Scott Windsor, because Scott got his sister pregnant, so he brings some woman in to claim that Scott raped her.
Yeah. I remember the allegation. It was withdrawn.
Well, go and ask Zoe. Because Chris even admitted to Zoe that he'd framed him, and she was furious, and it's because of Zoe that this woman backed off. Go on, ask her.
All right. We'll call a break there. Go and speak to Zoe.
And Scott. And then you'll see. And maybe you'll believe that he framed me too.
Here's to a very satisfactory arrangement.
I have to say, I don't usually pay such a high rate of commission. Mind you...
But then, probably no one else has ever brokered you with a deal like this.
Exactly. To a very lucrative arrangement.
We're going to have to look for another project for you.
One thing at a time, dear lady.
As the actress said to the bishop. You know, there could be some very rich pickings round here when this murder's sorted out. Charity behind bars, a mad woman in control of all that money.
Do you know, the workings of your mind resemble the workings of mine to quite an astonishing degree. Roddy, drink?
Yeah, no, thanks. I'm not stopping. Do you have any news for me?
Certainly not. To rush things through at this stage would be a gross error, bound to arouse suspicion. They normally take time. Better let them meander on in their normal way.
Yeah, but you don't foresee any problems. The permission will come through on time. Only my buyer is due any minute now.
No problem at all. At the final stage, I just give a little nudge and then bingo.
Bingo, good. Well, I'll let you get on with your factory work.
Bingo.
The poison was bought over the internet.
By?
It was Tate's credit card. Should be able to tell who logged on.
Date of delivery? See who signed for it?
Already underway. Not good for your waistline, you know.
No. Keeps me happy, though. So, Scott Windsor.
Yeah, I remember him. Slimy little toad.
You did say Tate had framed him, and then the woman dropped the charge.
It's only hearsay. No real evidence she's innocent.
Worth considering, though.
Is he laying in?
No.
Well, can I wait for her?
Well, don't know how long she'll be. I don't know where she is.
I don't mind.
OK.
Oh, hi, Donna. Cup of tea?
Is she really not in, or has she just told you to say that?
No. Why would she do that?
Because she knows what she's done.
What has she done?
Stolen my boyfriend on purpose.
I don't think so, Donna. I didn't think Robert was your boyfriend anymore.
Well, he was. We were still sleeping together, only he was two-timing me with Elaine. She don't even care if she splits up. And it's time someone told her where to get off. blind. Must have been the only one not knowing what was going on.
It's a horrible feeling.
And then I just think, if he prefers her to me, what's wrong with me? I mean, I must be really ugly or something.
No. Look, Donna, you've got to get rid of that idea. When someone cheats on you, you think you're worthless. But it's not you, it's them. They've got no loyalty, no guts. You're all right. It's not always the other girl's fault either.
Well, she knew I was going out with him.
She thought it was over. The main thing is, don't go running yourself down over it. You're still the same attractive person you always were. You just picked the wrong boy, maybe.
I'll go get her for you. You do know she's been ill, don't you? And all the stress is... Well, she's not completely lucid at the moment.
Bundle of laughs, this case. Based on the testimony of ex-prostitutes,
Your prejudices are showing again.
alleged rapists, and unreliable schizophrenics.
Don't assume she's unreliable.
And of course there's the testimony we haven't even got yet, because the witnesses are still missing. To include lovers with previous and 13-year-old girls formerly in foster care.
I'll go and make some tea, shall I?
2 sugars, please. Please, sit down, Miss Tate. Now, we know you've been asked this before, and we're sorry to bother you, but we want to make absolutely sure. Do you think it's possible that your brother may have killed himself? For any reason whatsoever?
No. None. He was very strong-willed. He would have tried to live as long as possible for Joseph and for me. And Jean. No, I told you. Charity killed him. She never married him for his money. She had an affair with me once, before they were married. But she soon put a stop to that, when it got in the way of her plans for him. Charity married him for his money, and now she's killed him for it.
Thanks a lot, Mrs. Marsden. I feel a lot better now.
Oh, that's all right, love. Any time.
Oh, there you are. Very nice. He is just using you, you know, just like he used me. He's only after one thing.
Donna, there's really no need...
Don't you dare try and talk to me in that patronising little voice of yours. You knew exactly what you were doing.
Donna.
What's going on?
You're the only one not got anything to say?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you will be. Both of you.
Donna, I really think you should let them get on with it. Don't get yourself worked up again. It's not worth the upset.
It's a pity you're not as nice as your mum.
Do you know anything about a small fire that somebody had in the grounds not long before your brother died?
Still hurts, you know. Died, when you say it. A fire? Do you mean a bonfire?
No, it wasn't an ordinary garden bonfire. It was in an incinerator, burning something very specific.
Actually, yes, I do remember one. The day before Chris died, I found him sitting by it.
Him? You found him beside it?
Yes.
Was he burning something then?
What was he burning?
I don't think he was burning anything. He said he'd just come across it. He said he was puzzled by it.
The man who's the father of your child, Scott Windsor, you accused him of rape.
Yes, I was wrong. It was a mistake. I'd been ill, you see, and I couldn't remember how...
Don't distress yourself.
He was later accused of the same crime by another woman. Mr. Windsor says he was set up. He implies that your brother paid this woman to make the accusation because he believes you had actually been raped by Mr. Windsor. Now, Charity Tate says you will corroborate this She says that your brother admitted to you that he'd framed Mr. Windsor. Is that true?
Please, this is very important. Did your brother try and frame Scott Windsor?
You see, we're compiling a case here and it has to be watertight. We need to know if your brother has ever framed anyone before.
No. He didn't frame Scott Windsor. He's never framed anyone in his life. I can see why Scott might say that. But she's talking rubbish.
Lisa, I think I'm going to go to the police. Tell them what's happened.
What, get Kane into trouble?
No, just tell them the facts.
Because that's what it'll do.
Well, maybe it will, but I'd rather see Kane in trouble than Charity.
What, even if he didn't do it?
Neither did she.
If Charity doesn't want you to tell them, then you shouldn't tell them, because you'll not only be letting Kane down, and Zach and me, you'll be letting Charity down as well. She doesn't want you to do it.
Well, maybe she needs protecting from herself.
Charity knows what she's doing. She'll be all right.
So, our Charity had an affair with Zoe Tate as well.
I mean, Zoe Tate's got an axe to grind. Do you think that's why she's denying all knowledge of the framing?
No, I reckon Miss Hyde was a genuine victim, and he made the whole framing thing up in a panic before she pulled out because he was guilty.
Perhaps Charity got the idea of saying she'd been framed and having heard Scott Windsor say it.
That sounds more like it.
To you, sir. Ta. Oh. Oh, there were fingerprints in the office. Dolan says they're Kane Dingle's.
I knew he was involved. Maybe he murdered Tate. She still wouldn't go with him, so he broke into the office, stole some cash and did a runner.
Poison doesn't sound like Kane Dingle to me.
Come on. We won't tell her what it is we've got. We'll just frighten her a little. See if that squeezes a confession out of her.
Sorry, I wanted to, How are you? Look, I'm sorry about what happened.
I don't want to talk about it.
They've arrested Cherry, haven't they? She didn't do it, did she?
I told them the truth.
Look, I can help. I can look after Jean for you.
No, you can't have her. I won't let you.
Did you see Zoe?
Mrs. Tate, I'm going to ask you something now which we've already asked you before. And we'd like you to tell us the truth this time.
If my client has already answered this...
Did you see anyone else at Home Farm on the night of your husband's death?
You don't have to answer that again.
I have told you, no. No one.
No one at all?
No.
No one was there with you?
No!
You spoke to no one?
No.
Did you hear anyone?
No, look, what is this? What is this about? Didn't you speak to Zoe? Because that's what you said you'd do. You said you'd go and see her.
I can't concentrate. Can you?
I didn't think you had to concentrate much to watch this.
It's bad news. It's going to lead her into trouble.
You mean get her pregnant?
No. If he's so much as... Do you think she's sleeping with him as well, then?
No, I don't. Elaine's a very sensible girl. Besides, he's not such a bad lad. They get on really well.
He's got two of them on the go at once.
Oh, really? Anyway, I'm not sure about that. I think he has finished with Donna, just a bit messily, that's all. And lots of relationships start with somebody on the rebound. Look at us. I was with your brother. Wasn't I?
You are glad you ended up with me, though, aren't you?
I'm just saying. That's how some relationships start.
We did speak to Zoe Tate.
She said she knew nothing about her brother framing Scott Windsor. She said her brother had never framed anyone in his life.
But he told her he had.
She denies that.
Well, she's lying then.
Well, what should you do with that, Mrs. Tate?
What about Scott?
Scott Windsor's accusation doesn't prove anything. It's just his story, like maybe this is your story. Maybe you even got the idea to say it was a frame from him.
It is not a story. He's framed me. Look, if I was going to murder anyone, I'm not daft. Would I hang around the body like that? Would I?
You didn't expect us to turn up. You didn't know we'd phone the police.
All right, no, but would I leave poison in my car for you to find? Or fingerprints on the glass? For God's sake, I'm not stupid. I'd have made a better job of it than that, wouldn't I?
You might. If you were planning to murder him. But to say you'd been framed.
Come on, Charity. You're looking at a life sentence. That's 15 to 30 years. Why don't you make it easier on yourself? Get a lot less if you confess.
But I have got nothing to confess!
One last time. You were on your own that night. For the purposes of the tape, Mrs. Tate has nodded.
I can feel them breathing down my neck. I'm gonna get lapped.
Well, I was first past the post, but sadly,
Zoe?
I was 4 laps behind the other 2. Time to get ready for my big race. A champion...
Zoe, are you all right?
Yes, of course I'm all right. I'm just waiting for Chris.
Zoe, have you been taking your medication?
No. No, I haven't.
You don't seem yourself. Do you think perhaps we should call the psychiatric nurse?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Oi, I'm talking to you!
This way, love.
No! Listen, you're not keeping me in overnight.
Come on.
You can't!
Mrs. Tate.
You can't!
It was your choice.
Choice? I didn't have a choice, did